Namaskaram. You're watching or listening Malayalam FM's interview series Arinyadum Ariyathadum, The Known and the Unknown. I'm so glad to invite today's guest, Dr. Rashmi Thapar.
Namaste.
Welcome to our show, Reshmi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Reshmi, when I invited you to be my guest on my show, I asked you to know more about you professionally. I asked you what you do for your living. Your response really fascinated me, or it stayed with me. Because while we all live in overseas, few of us have our own passions. However, we do our full-time job for our livelihood, and few are lucky enough to keep their passion alongside. But you mentioned dance or that cultural art form is your full-time path. How do you manage this?
I don't know. Since a very young age, I always wanted to be an artist. But I never thought that it's going to be a full time.
Yeah.
Never did I think. And maybe that's the reason I went into the engineering path. But dance was with me. Though I did my master's and then worked as a software engineer. For about 8 years, I worked as a software engineer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In which part of the world?
In Bangalore only.
Okay.
So
Bangalore is the capital city for
Yes.
the technical side.
Exactly.
It's a technical capital for India. Yeah.
So I was a software engineer. So I was working over there. But dance was with me always. So even during my engineering, my master's and all, I also made sure that I also do the master's in dance. So dance was going on with me in spite of my dance class, everything. I don't know how I was able to handle both. But at one point I realized that I might need to dedicate more time for my art. Because even in the software field, it so happens that once you get promoted to a higher position, you become a lead, you become a manager, it becomes really difficult to handle both the professions. So that's when I thought, okay, maybe it's high time now that I have to dedicate completely to the dance. And from then, there's no looking back at all. I started off with my MPhil and then my PhD study. So I've been totally into dance since then.
Oh, brilliant. When you said PhD, what was your subject for PhD?
PhD, I worked on the stage lightings for Indian classical dance.
Stage lighting.
Yes,
Oh,
stage lighting for Indian
interesting.
classical dance, because it so happens that the subject is not much touched upon, and especially when it comes to the Indian classical dance. And it was very interesting for me, and as a child, watching different dance productions, light was something which fascinated me. And little did I know that I'll be working on that. But during my MPhil, it happened to be my topic. And while doing my MPhil, I realized that there's a lot of depth in understanding the stage lighting, that too for Indian classical dance. And then had to do my PhD to dive deep into that. And finally, again, I came out with a book which talks about the guidelines with respect to the stage lighting. And I'm happy, proud also to say that this is the first book which has come out with respect to the stage lighting for the Indian classical dance.
Amazing.
So,
To be honest, I'm seeing someone for the first time in my life who has done a research or deep dive into the
Yes.
lighting aspect of the stage performance.
true, definitely.
Rashmi, you touched upon your topic, Indian classical dance. Which specific dance you've been specializing on?
I'm training and I have trained myself in Bharatanatyam.
Okay, which is a dance form, gives a lot of thrust on storytelling. Am I right?
Yes. To be frank, all the Indian classical dance, for that matter, is about the storytelling only.
And because of the storytelling side of Bharatanatyam, light falls a very crucial part in the performance.
Yes, definitely. Light has its own impact, and how we use the light aesthetically is something which is very important, and that is what I have targeted in my study throughout.
Can you share one example to make my listeners understand
Mhm.
how light has transitioned the feel or experience of a performance.
If I have to give even a real time example, so how does it feel for us when we look at the sunrise to that of mid noon and then to the evening sunset? So there's an energy transition, energy variation that happens even for us, right? When we look at the sunset or even the sunrise. So it's the
Absolutely.
same thing even with the classical dance. So what happens is when we put the light on a particular character, so we are forcing the audience to look only at certain part of the stage,
Exactly.
not the entire stage. So we are narrowing their mind, their vision, and when we use it as a character also, like say you want to create a romantic mood. So how do we do that? Because all we have is a black box.
Exactly.
So the auditorium, so we don't have anything. Whereas when we look back into the Indian theaters long back then, the ancient times, they made use of natural settings, and you had the sunrise, sunset, evening times, and morning times where the presentation used to happen. But once it moved to the auditorium, it has become a black box.
Exactly.
So in that black box, what can you create? So that is when light comes into the picture to create the mood, to create a feel for the particular character.
Excellent. Oh, that's a good, very good point. Reshmi, you are a performer, you are a teacher, you are a researcher.
Yes.
What gives you immense pleasure among these three?
All the three, they all are interdependent. I don't know, I cannot separate all three of them. Everything has to be, and that is the holistic approach of the dance form. The performance cannot happen without the research,
Yeah.
and whatever you research should be in the performing format also. So they are interdependent. So it is important that anyone for that matter, being an artist, it's important that they need to have this holistic approach with respect to the classical dance in order to preserve and give it to the next generation. So without that, I don't think so you can separate it out as which is important, or even to choreograph a dance piece, we do a lot of research for that. Otherwise, you won't be able to.
Interesting.
So everything is needed.
Everything is correlated.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. They are. You cannot separate them out.
And how long you have been performing, or how long you have been teaching?
Teaching, almost, if I counted through my institute, then it's been like 20 years. But I've been lucky enough, like even while I was young, along with my teachers. So I used to teach the younger
Youngest
students,
juniors.
junior students. So that's when the knack of teaching came into me. And then through my institute, it's been like 20 years now that I'm
Oh,
teaching.
almost 2 decades.
Yes, it's been 2 decades. Whereas in Auckland, it's just been like 2 years because I just came in over here.
Okay.
So in Auckland, it's been 2 years. Whereas back in India, it's been like, 2 decades
What
now.
brought you to New Zealand? Because for in classical dance, India is always the main hub.
Yes. Don't know, maybe I had to come here to give my learnings, everything to Auckland also. Maybe God chose me to dedicate myself and to bring up the art also even in Auckland, maybe.
What you do? Do you have dancing classes?
Yes, I teach. I teach over here in Auckland. So I'm full time into teaching only. Apart from teaching, I'll be practicing, I'll be reading. That is what my day goes on. So, yes, a teacher also.
As the saying goes, when you do your passion as your work, you don't feel like you're working.
Yes, definitely. So you don't know when it is day and when it is night. You are just into dance only full time. So
So lucky to have that kind of a path in your.
I know, true.
What is your comment about the new generation students? Are they taking dance classes seriously, or they think it's a glamorous industry, or I'm performing on a stage? Um, how do you rate their interest level?
That actually depends from dancer to dancer, and more than dancer, I think it is more dependent on the teacher. is what I feel, because it's a teacher's responsibility to guide the students in the right way, to make them understand that it is not a glamorous world at all. First of all, it is not a glamorous world. There's a lot of dedication, lot of devotion, lot of hard work, efforts, and it takes many years for one to blossom even as a dancer.
Yeah.
So
As
more
a known dancer.
exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, even to, it's just like, even as for the teachers, it's like sculpting. So it takes so many years. You have to wait for the flower to blossom by itself. You can only nurture the flower. So as a teacher, it is important that we nurture the students, guiding them in the right path to make them understand that it's Indian classical dance, not any Bollywood or something. So there is a lot of time and dedication, and you don't just get it like that. It takes years of practice for your body to even accept the style of the classical dance. So I would say it lies in the hands of the teachers than the students.
But are they taking it seriously? That was my initial question.
That depends again from students to students. Luckily, I have not encountered any of my students in that path.
Excellent.
I make sure to tell them that there's a lot of efforts that is involved to learn the classical dance. And at the same time, adaptation is also important, because the current trend is the reels and everything. But where do you strike a balance? So
that's important.
Yes, in earlier days we had newspapers. So the artists, there were critics who used to write about the artists, so the world used to get to know. And now we have this reels time now, so
social media.
Yes, so there's no other option but to adapt to it. But you need to draw your line. What do you show it to the audience? Because end of the day, what happens is that you might do n number of reels, and looking at your reels, an organizer will call you. For the program, you cannot do a 30-second performance. So it needs to be a full length 1 hour of performance.
Yeah.
So that is something which a teacher should make sure that the children understand that. So practice and promote when it's needed. Definitely, yes, you must promote.
Yeah.
But keep that balance.
Yeah. Couldn't agree with you more, Dr. Reshmi, on that, because you're saying the real talents will emerge eventually.
Exactly.
No matter they do focus on social media or whatever.
Definitely.
The true talent will come out.
Yes.
That's a great point. I heard there is a new production coming in your way.
Yes.
Can we know a little more about your upcoming project, Reshmi?
Yes. We are conducting NADA. So NADA is a dance festival. So every year it happens even in India. So in Auckland, this is the first time.
Oh.
And we are doing...
whatever you were doing in India, you are replicating in...
Replicating in the sense, it is basically the showcase which we do of the students learning whatever has been happened till now.
Oh, okay.
So even in Auckland, I'm starting it this year. So it's happening on June 6th. So
Saturday?
Yes. So my students will be performing, and after their performance is my work. So I'm premiering one of my new work called Satipatha. So Satipatha is about the sacred feminine energy behind the epic. Oh. So I'm bringing in that new concept, and it's happening on June 6th.
How long is the performance?
My students' performance will be for 45 minutes and then followed by mine around 30 minutes.
Oh, so altogether less than 2 hours?
Yes, it's less than 2 hours.
Is it going to be a ticketed event, and where is it happening?
Yes, it is a ticketed event, and it's happening at the Auckland Performing Arts Centre, TAPAC. So over there.
Reshmi, we are seeing a lot of Indian dance schools, especially from our community, also in Auckland. Can I ask, what is something that stands out about Dr. Rashmi Thapar's class? Or what is unique about your class from a student point of view?
Being a researcher and teacher and a dancer, for me, dance is not just about performance. Unfortunately, it has happened that people think dance means just a performance. But performance is just one branch of it.
Yeah.
So there are many things like, choreography, aesthetics, theory or research. There are like so many branches, and that is what I always tell my students, that don't just be performance oriented. And for you, even to perform, what is important is to understand the theory behind it, because only then the tradition will survive. Otherwise,
Exactly.
what happens as a student, they'll have so many questions as why the things are being done in this way, why not in the other way. And they think that they have to create something out of the box without understanding that our literature already has so much in the box. And all that we have to do is just read that. And that by understanding the literature, that connection with respect to the theory and the practical, we call it as a Shastra and Prayoga. Shastra is the literature and Prayoga is the practical application.
Yeah.
So the Prayoga should always be backed up by the Shastra. And the Shastra can beautifully come out as a Prayoga. So this is something which I emphasize in my dance class. So that's the reason even at the beginning, students were like surprised that there are theory classes happening in the class. And even the parents were like, theory? What is this theory? What are you doing, ma'am? So that is the main thing which I do. And then dance examinations. I believe in a structured form of learning. So for me, it's very important that students, they learn in a methodological way, which is really important, especially for the classical dance. So I've been connected with the universities in India. So last year also, a few of my students, they took up the exam, they have passed in distinction. And even this year also, they are doing their examination. So as a holistic approach to the ones who are really interested to take up dance, I don't teach for the students who come as a hobby.
Yeah.
So I'm very clear about that. So I talk to even the parents also to understand how much efforts they are ready to put for the children, because it's not an easy thing. So hobby thing is not allowed in my class. And eventually those who come as an hobby, they won't be able to survive in my class. They won't be able to take so much of things, so much of knowledge. They're not ready. They're not open for it. So ultimately they will not stay. But otherwise, the students who I have, they now realize, they understand the importance of the theory and the practical. So this is something which I emphasize in my dance school.
Oh, that sounds like a great approach, Reshmi.
Yes.
Reshmi, I can also see when I read about you, your background, you're also into yoga.
Yes.
Can you share, are you teaching yoga here in Auckland?
No, I don't teach yoga. I'm just a practitioner. So I enjoy doing it. So I practice yoga because I think for each one of us, it's very important to practice yoga, because your mental stability, your emotional stability, your physical, everything is dependent on that. And yoga is a beautiful gift what we have got from all our rishis. And yoga should be a part of life, I feel, whether you teach someone or not. And even in my dance class also, yoga is also a part of the dance curriculum. So the students are trained in yoga also.
So that's a great mix of dance class. Dance plus yoga comes.
Yes. As a teacher, it's very important that we introduce the children. We don't know whether they'll follow it later or not. We don't know. But introducing them and making them aware that these are some things which has been time tested. So later on, maybe some point in their life, they'll definitely get back. They'll realize that, okay, why my teacher or why my parent was telling me so. And they'll definitely get back to it. Introducing is my duty, and that's what I'm doing.
Looks like, Reshmi, you have designed your dance class, your profession, your performance, your teaching methodology, your research. You have designed in a very professional way or an effective way. Can I ask, is that something you adopted from any of your gurus? Because I can see you have taken your lessons from amazing gurus back in India.
Yes.
What was one thing you imbibed from, or you deliberately wanted to inherit from your gurus?
I've been really blessed to have learned from wonderful gurus. And for them, as I told, dance was not just a performance or something. It was more of a sadhana, a way of life. And being with them, what I've realized is that as an artist, it is utmost I mean, it's the responsibility of an artist to protect, preserve, and take forward the art in its most authentic way. And that is something which I have understood from all of my gurus, and I really owe to them every time when I teach. That is what even I think, that okay, it's my duty to pass it on to the next
Next
generation. How
generation.
long will I be here? So it's my students, it's the others who needs to take it forward, and they have to take it forward in an authentic way. So that is something which I'm following my guru steps.
What is your next dream? You have achieved a lot. I can see there is a big list of awards, achievements in your portfolio. What is that is in your list as Dr. Rashmi Thapar to achieve next?
I don't know. Things are just coming by my way. Never did I think that I'll come to Auckland, and here I see, like, okay, uh, it's totally different, especially when it comes to Indian classical dance. As you said, the main hub is in India, and over here it isn't there. I don't know, maybe I've come here to revive or do something over here with respect to the Indian classical dance. And I've also started to do some, because one major drawback which I saw is with respect to the performances and the opportunity for the students to look at other dancers and learn from them. So you might have also observed that there's a lot of community programs which happens, which is really good. At least the communities are preserving the art form. But Indian classical dance is not limited to just community performance. That 5 minutes will not justify being a dancer. So my whole idea is that I want to create a platform wherein the dancers can look at other dancers, senior dancers. I want to invite the dancers here so that they can look, observe, and train themselves and understand how much efforts is needed to even take forward the Indian classical dance. So that is something which is currently in my list now, and I'm working towards that.
Great. And I can see this upcoming event in Tabak, the NADA 2026.
Yes.
Can we call it as your first step?
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. Because even to my students who are here, I used to hear to them about the kind of performances they used to do. And that's what made me realize that, okay, I have to change the format over here, because that is not the way in which one needs to get onto the stage. So with that focus, they all have been like practicing a lot now, and never they had been put into such a situation of so much of practice. And I'm so happy to see them practicing very well, and they've taken up art so seriously now. They understand the importance of it, and we all are looking forward for the NADA, which is happening.
What will be your one line of message to our listeners to come and attend NADA 2026?
As of now, the tickets are sold out.
Oh.
I wish
So
they
happy
have.
for you.
I wish they have booked the tickets, but it's
Maybe
like
next time.
maybe next time,
You
definitely.
do it annually or?
We don't know. We have to still think how it goes on. But yeah, we are getting many inquiries, but unfortunately, the tickets are like sold out now.
Oh.
So
Wish you good luck, and thank you so much for being with Malayalam FM and sharing your knowledge and inspiring the students and the parents about the importance of learning theory along with the practical performance, which is really appreciative about you, and wish you all the good luck.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. And you're doing such a brilliant work. You're connecting the artist and any other professionals with the audience, and a kind of contribution from your side to the society. And I think such a noble cause. And thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you.